Shalom is your first film setting about praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh by Shem Al Shai, by Shem HaKadosh, the ones of the apostles, and else great millstone for teachers its true peace and blessing to the whole elect of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the unfailing Hebrew, by Shem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Background lesson, and as you know the title, going to be going to the fall of Babylon and how it's inevitable. It's something that you cannot stop. As you know, with the many situations that are starting to arise, dealing with this tariff situation, and especially have, many of these other nations are now starting to, kind of fire back. I believe you had Mexico, close their border, if I'm correct, I seen a video, going into it. And you have this right here. So Ontario Premier threatens to shut off power to U.S. states, which I believe is like New York and a few other locations, but I'll play the video just to get it. Physical liberty situations, and how once in the fall of Babylon is once again inevitable. So let's play this real quick, and also speak on a few other things. You had that Elon Musk ship, crash. Get an article, go into that, because that's a prelude of what's coming to Babylon. It will come crashing down, man. But play this quick. I don't want to start the intro too long. Let's dive right into it.
I'm writing to every senator, every congressman and woman, and the governors from New York State, Michigan, and Minnesota, telling them that these tariffs persist. If the Trump administration falls through on any more tariffs, we will immediately apply a 25% surcharge on the electricity we export. We will not hesitate to shut off their power as well. I'm encouraging my fellow premiers to follow suit.
There you go.
Well, breaking fuck the news, China has responded with a 50% retaliatory tariff on all American goods. Canada, again, is threatening to shut that motherfucking power. Well, Doug Ford is threatening to cut that motherfucking power off. Don't know what Mexico doing. Well, breaking fuck the news.
There you go. So you're seeing, many problems, arise from this. And as we've been saying, Donald Trump is going to be used as that catalyst to stir up division, to bring about chaos. And you're seeing it. And you have many people that voted for Trump. We're saying now that they are pretty much regretful. Going to this now, it says Elon Musk defense, or let's get this, see what it says. Elon Musk defense second straight explosion for SpaceX Starship as minor setback. So our brother, going to lesson this and how, an example of, Babylon's fall, and how this place will come crashing down. Let's see. SpaceX Starship explodes in space, which must cause a minor setback. As you all seen with the wars, rumors of wars, tensions building between these nations. This place is crumbling, man. But there's a couple of these scriptures in 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. And it says the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, speaking of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So just, an example of the coming times and just how bad it's going to get out of here. Because in the previous verse, going to, woe is me, woe is me. It says, who will deliver me in those days? This one is going to show just how bad the times that we are coming into, and how very serious, it's going to get. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. Now it says, it's not also that in the last days perilous times shall come. So we're in the very perilous times. And that word perilous goes into troublesome, terrible, dark. It's gonna get very, very serious out here, man. It ain't nothing to be glossed over or played with, man. Once that you're seeing wars, rumors of wars, tensions, and conflict breaking out between these nations, and all this is happening for a reason. It's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai that you're seeing these things. You're having this, U.S. and Ukraine situation. You're seeing this tariff situation, and you're especially in end time prophecy. You're gonna have many of the nations, especially allied nations, go against Babylon, against America. They're in turn against the whore, which you get in the Book of Revelations. Now, this 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. And it says, "For when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So we're going to that point, how there's no peace nor safety come to this place, but death and destruction and despair, demise. We're just going to go into this inevitable fall of Babylon, and how there's nothing you can do to stop it. As in, you can't halt or stop prophecy. You get in the scriptures how his word shall not return to him void. You can't do anything against the truth but for the truth. This devil trying to halt and stop prophecy, but in doing so, he's fulfilling it. Excuse me, the 2nd Ezra 16:21. And it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that you'll think yourself to be in good case," because right now people are comfortable. They see everything's kind of all right, but now you're starting to see, prices continue to rise, and once you see with this tariff situation, it's causing many problems, especially dealing with the food, goods, and all this stuff. And after, "Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that you'll think yourself to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." As we read in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, has no peace, no safety come to this place, man. As Jeremiah chapter 50 and 9, "And as for the Lord, raise and cause to come against Babylon, assembly of great nations from the north countries, and shall set themselves in array against her from thence. She shall be taken, their arrow shall be as a mighty expert men, none shall return in vain." Now it's going to this coming destruction that will befall America, Babylon. And this is where the main destruction, judgment will take place. And if you get in the later verses, it also goes into what this destruction, judgment can be by the way of. 25th verse, "The Lord has opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of the nation, for this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of Chaldeans." So what do you think it means when the Lord's opening of his armory? Especially going back to verse 9, and you'll mention those arrows. "So the arrow should be as a man expert men, none should return in vain." You get in the scripture how the arrow should be shot from one place on earth onto the whole other side. So what regular bow and arrow can do that? Clearly none. So the story is not speaking of that, but of these thermonuclear missiles. Isaiah 34 to add on to that point. "This is coming, you nations, to hear and hearken, ye people, that they are to hear, and all that is there in the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon other armies." The Lord's angry, man. And as read, his indignation is upon this place, especially upon its inhabitants. So that's why it's important to fear the Lord and seek out Yahweh B'Shem Shai before it is far too late. Because the Lord's getting ready to destroy this place, man. The Lord is not playing. Now it says, "He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain all shall be cast out, and their stink shall come as the carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven should be dissolved, and the heavens should be rolled together like a scroll. And the heavens should be rolled together like a scroll, speaking of the mushroom cloud. You'll be informed of the explosion, which you see many examples of within cartoons, shows, actual, tests, which you see military will do at times. Will test a missile, and you see in the background what looks to be a mushroom cloud. So that's what it's speaking of. Now it says, "And all the hosts shall fall on, as the leaf falls off from the vine, is falling fig from the fig tree. Verse 5, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea," another word for Esau, Edom, "and upon the people of my curse to judgment." And that sword is speaking of those thermonuclear missiles. So it's speaking of the same thing, which you get in the 2nd Ezra, as well as Jeremiah 50, we just read, going to those arrows. As we read here in Isaiah 34, going to the sword being bathed in heaven. You can Revelation 6 chapter going to stars falling from heaven. It's all speaking of the same thing, going to those thermonuclear missiles. Isaiah 9 and 5 goes into how this war is going to be completely different, and how it's going to be by the way of fuel and flaming fire. So going to show the times that we're coming into, and what this war with this judgment destruction to be by the way of, man. Especially going to the first death by the way of water, and the second death is going to be by the way of fire, and specifically thermonuclear fire. This is Matthew 24 and 3-8. And you also had a while back, which I made less going into, you had Trump wanting to try to stop World War III. He's wanting to get nations to come together. In fact, the exact words were said, but you had him want to try to halt World War III. But that's something that you cannot do. And you already see the many problems that are arising, the things he's doing, and how many people are against the decisions that he's making. What's being used as that catalyst, stir division, to bring about chaos. And people thought things were going to get better. This is Matthew 24 and 3-8. Now it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us what these things be, and what should be a sign of thy coming at the end of the world. Verse 4, and Yahweh shall answer and said to them, take heed that no one deceive you. And also just go back to verse 3. It says, what should be a sign of thy coming at the end of the world. So it's a list of many of these things that we would see, would take place before the Lord Yahweh will return. Now verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm a daughter, and shall deceive many. And that's why you're seeing a lot of false prophets arising, especially within these last days, or really just being exposed, for the works and things that they do, and for who they really are, and for who they are serving. And it's obviously not Yahweh Bashmel Shai. You see a lot of guys making this thing about themselves, trying to make a profit off this ministry, off this truth. Doing what they can in order to make a quick buck. Leading our people astray, ultimately being that stumbling block, man. But that's why you should know by now who your true teachers are. Malachi 3:18, discern between who serve the Most High and who serve them not. The main point, verse 6, and you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not choked, for all these things must come to pass, but it is not yet. And that's what you're also seeing, these wars and rumors of wars, conflict, tension, fights breaking out. And all this is in order to reach a breaking point, which is going to be World War III. All this is due to spent probably how Bashmal shot. There's a reason you're seeing these things happening. And why you're going to continue to see things heat up. And that's the verse 7. For nation shall rise, nation and its kingdom should be famines, and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, and if you get the NLT version, it goes into the beginning of those birth pains, which you can also get in 2 Kings 16. As we get closer to the end of this place, those birth pains are going to be at its peak, at its highest. Is exactly why you're seeing so many things happening and taking place, man. It's no joke. Now, we're going to shut this down with Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. Just, quick, let's do the spirit going into these situations that are arising. And I may make a, let's go to this tariff situation, just, go into that solely with Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, because you also see once again many problems arise from that. Scarcity of food, you may see shrinkflation, prices rising, while you have the product decreasing. And as for the visions yet for an appointed time, but speaking that lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely come, it will not tarry, meaning it will not delay. So what does that vision speak of? These signs, these prophecies, and guess what? We're in those appointed times as written and spoken of within the scriptures. Things are heating up. You can also get throughout many other scriptures how the storehouses shall be cleaned out, found empty. And you're gonna have people fighting amongst each other over lack of bread, as you can scripture for lack of bread and great tribulation. These type of times we're coming into, man. And most of these things are not to be just glossed over, because the Lord can raise His choice place, and you're seeing things heating up. The Lord is stirring that pot, because now you have these nations once again going back to that tariff situation where now you saw what Canada did. They put like a 20 or 25% tax on power, electricity, and all that stuff. But you're gonna see a lot of these things continue to rise and heat up. We have to see how it plays out. But that's the point. Lord's blessings was edifying. Do close out and give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, Bashim Kakadash, and Shalom. See you next one. Lord's will.